Hi, Quadcopter 101 here, and before we get started, I want to get my shout-outs out of the way. Today's shout-out goes to JTJY. JTJY was the first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus is today's Notification Squad winner. So congratulations, JTJY. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here. And if you're like me, you've probably become addicted to this hobby of drones, and probably have more than one drone. And if you started out with smaller 1S type drones, you probably have quite a bit of them. And with that in mind, you probably have a lot of different types of batteries. And with those different types of batteries, probably got a lot of different types of connectors. Like this one here is MCPX connector on there. This one here is an MCX connector, tiny little MCX connector. This one here is a micro Losi connector, also known as Molex, and you might even have some with Red JST connectors. And with each one of these quadcopters, you probably got a different little controller or a different little charger that you have to plug into a power source, and usually those little chargers take for hours to charge a battery, especially if you're charging it off your computer and not using a wall charger such as for your phone. But you know, there's a way around all that. I've looked at others in the past and actually did reviews on other 1S battery chargers in the past, and there are quite a few out there, but the thing is, usually those are limited by their power supply. You got to provide your own power supply to it. This one here actually has a wall plug that you can plug into your wall outlet, and it has its own built-in power supply. That enables it to give it quite a lot of oomph to the charge of your batteries to reduce the charging time. In addition to that, it is programmable. You could select each one of these charging stations and select the number of milliamp or number of amps that you want to charge your particular battery, so that you can reduce that charging time to a minimal amount of time to charge. Also, in addition to that, this is capable of charging both LiPo batteries and the new high voltage batteries, LiHV batteries, with a flick of a switch right there. And let's see, I mentioned that you can program each one of these independently for the charging amperage. Now let's go through how to do such. We got 4 different type of batteries here. This one's a little 450 milliamp hour with a MCPX connector. This one's a 250 milliamp hour high voltage battery. This one's not a LiPo. This is LiHV battery. It has a different high voltage cutoff. Normally these LiPos, a high voltage cutoff is the voltage where the maximum voltage you want to put into is 4.2 volts. These new LiHVs go up to I can't remember. Yeah, 4.35 volts. So they hold a little more power than these LiPo style batteries. This one here has 500 milliamp hour MC or Molex connector, micro Losi, and again this one here is 1000 milliamp hour Red JST connector. Now what we want to do is program each one of these for each individual battery. Now each can easily plug into their respective slot. Again, this one goes to MCPX. Let me plug it in. And this one here goes to MCX. Let's plug it in there. This one here goes to the Molex plug, which again is also known as micro Losi. Get it in there. And this one will plug into the Red JST plug. So we got 4 different batteries, 4 different connectors, and each one of them fits in there. Now let me raise this up so you can see what happens here. You can actually see the voltage. Let me bring it up closer so you can see that. Each one of the battery's voltages do show up to show you its charging status and where it's at, you know, how many volts are in it. But let me put it down here. Now, to determine the charging amperage, we just look at, you know, what's the milliamp hour of the battery. This one here is 450 milliamp hour. You want to multiply that times 2, so that's going to be 0.9 amps. We're going to select the charging for that. 2 times 0.45 is 0.9, and again it's a LiPo, so we got to set the LiPo, and we just hit start stop. Actually, we got to select channel, which channel we want to program. We're going to be programming channel 1, and we'll bring it up here so you can see it. We got channel 1 selected, and we're going to hit this increment button to take it up to 0.9, or we got to do it again. We took too long. Channel 1's blinking, and incremented up to 0.9 volts, or 9 amps. And we're there, we're ready to go, and all we got to do is hit start stop and hold it down. And it's charging. It starts from 0, and then you'll see the amperage increase and the voltage. There you go. There goes the amperage. And then it shows the voltage. And that voltage is going to keep increasing as the charge builds up. 0.9 amps, it's telling you. And it goes back and forth between 0.9 amps, 3.87 volts right now. So the charge is increasing. Now the second battery. The second battery is, again, an LiHV battery. So we move the switch to LiHV. And again, hit the channel button, select that particular channel. And before we do, this is 250 milliampere hour battery. So we want to multiply that 0.25 times 2, which is 0.5. So that's going to be the charging amperage we're going to select for this, 0.5 amps. So we hit the channel button. Oop. Cancel that. Hit the, let's see here, channel. Then we want to select channel 2. Actually, go to channel 2, so that's 2 is blinking. And then we take it up to, what is it, 0.5 amps. 0.5, and then hit start and hold it down. And that one's started. And again, that's going to switch between amperage and voltage as it's charging. Okay, the next one we got here is a LiPo, regular LiPo. So we want to set this to LiPo. In fact, the remaining two are both LiPos. And this one's amperage is 500 milliampere hour. We want to multiply that times 2, so that's 1 amp. We're going to select 0.5 times 1 amp. So again, we select channel, and we're going to go until this light lights up here. Channel, and then hit increment up to, it's already at 1 amp. So, and 1 amp is the maximum amperage you can select. And then we get it start. And finally, this one here is 1000 milliampere hour. Now keep in mind that the maximum voltage we can charge is 1 amp. So we're not going to be able to charge this one at 2 times, 2 amps. So all we got to do is select 1 amp. It's going to take a little longer to charge it than at 2S charge power, but is that right? 2C charge power. But that's no problem. It's just going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to be a lot shorter than a little wall or the little standard charger that it came with. I'll tell you that. So we're going to charge this at 1 amp. First we got to select, make sure it's LiPo. It is LiPo. Then we select the channel, and we're going to make sure that light starts blinking. Then we're going to select up to 1 amp. 1 amp. That's the maximum it goes. See? I'm going to cycle back up. I did it wrong. There we go. Go back up to 1 amp. 9 and 1 amp, and then hit and hold down this button to start it. There we go. So all 4 are now charging. A very capable charger, folks. Again, it can charge its power. It has its own power converter in there. You can plug this into a wall outlet, and it provides plenty of power to each of these 4 different batteries. So it's going to be charging a lot faster than some of the other multi-chargers you see out there. But it also has, on the side here, if you're out in the field flying, and you want to keep flying out in the field, you can use a DC power source, say from a large LiPo battery, multi-cell LiPo battery, plug it in there, 9 to 12 volts, and provide out in the field power to charge. So it can work also out in the field if you wish. So that again is the Venom Pro Quad Micro 1S charger. Very capable little charger. I like it, and I've been using it quite a bit recently. So I hope you enjoyed this review. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.